Good afternoon and welcome. You're watching Lunchtime News on TV1, bringing you the news. I'm Tarush Kumar Singha. Well, a short while ago, we received the news that the ongoing quarantine curfew in the country will be further extended until 4 a.m. on the 1st of October. We have that and many more news coming your way. But first, let's take a look at your headlines this afternoon.
What happened at the Anuradhapura prison? Lohan Ratwatta breaks his silence. Samagi Janabalavagia goes to the CID against Lohan Ratwatta. Quarantine curfew extended till the 1st of October. Queues to purchase gas cylinders continue to be seen across the island.
Now, the Director General of Health Services, Dr. Hemantha Herath, said that the country cannot be reopened if the number of COVID-19 infections cannot be maintained at a low level.
We decided to shut down the country as we were facing a very crucial time. It is clear that the situation in the country is not the same as it was back then. However, the issue now is if the situation in the country is of a satisfactory level, will the authorities be able to continue operations in the country and maintain this level? Unless it is possible to operate the country while preventing the further spread of COVID-19, I think the decision to reopen the country will be the beginning of a serious destruction and an inhumane act.
The
Association of Medical Specialists had requested for travel restrictions in the country to be extended until at least the beginning of next month. Issuing a statement, the association pointed out that if the prevailing travel restrictions are lifted at once, the Delta variant may spread fast across the country, causing an increase in the number of cases and deaths.
It is the main responsibility of the experts to assess the risk of COVID-19 in the country. It is also their responsibility to present recommendations on what can be done to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Instead of criticizing the authorities' decisions, I think it is important that all of us work towards preventing the spread of the virus in the country.
As you saw in the headlines, what actually happened at the Anuradhapura prison? State Minister Lohan Ratwatta broke his silence and spoke to Newsfirst on the truth of the details circulating on social media regarding this matter.
There are 29 prisons and 2 rehabilitation centers, adding up to a total of 31 centers in the country. I have visited all of these centers and I have never been under the influence of alcohol while I visited these locations. Firearms are not allowed inside prison premises. Even prison officials cannot take firearms into prisons. I don't even take my cell phone inside the prison premises. This is a campaign to sling mud at me. I don't know who is behind this. I have not done anything like that. I have handed over the portfolio of prisons management when the prisons were in chaos. I managed to bring the situation under control and re-establish the prisons as rehabilitation centers. There were 33,000 prisoners when I took over the ministry, and I reduced the number to 19,000 prisoners by allowing bail to be granted to those imprisoned for minor offences. These false allegations were levelled against me at a time when I had taken steps to release these suspects arrested for minor offences and taken steps to move the Valikada prison to Millava. I resigned from this portfolio as I didn't want to inconvenience the President, Prime Minister and the government.
Was CCTV footage deleted?
CCTV footage cannot be erased. If there was an incident like that, they should release the CCTV footage.
The Samagi Janabalavagia made a request from the Inspector General of Police to take immediate action against the conduct of State Minister Lohan Ratwatta.
Parliamentarians representing the Samagi Janabalavagia handed over a written complaint to the police headquarters.
The
current government that came into power guaranteeing one country, one law have now begun to allow their own minister to violate the law. This minister had acted in a disgraceful manner that we cannot approve of. As the Samagi Janabalavagia, today we requested the IGP to enforce the law. Many crimes have been committed under the penal code of this country by this minister. The relevant minister has accepted responsibility and resigned from his ministerial portfolio on prisons. The police had said that there was no complaint lodged for an investigation to be launched. The entire country know about this incident. Today, we are the main opposition of the country and we lodged a complaint. Investigate this matter and arrest him immediately and enforce the law against him. This is what we requested from the police.
Minister Namal Rajapaksa also spoke about the manner in which the government will respond to the conduct of State Minister Lohan Ratwatta.
If there is a violation and if it is affirmed in the investigations, we will take a decision. I must clearly state that we do not approve of such conduct. Not only do we condemn such conduct, but we will also investigate it and take legal action.
The
investigations will prove as to if this was an issue brought up by the opposition. The opposition is talented in creating issues. The President and the Prime Minister do not approve of such incidents. We will not allow such incidents to take place.
ඔවුන් අස්වැද්දි කියන්නේ ආණ්ඩුවේ ඉහළින් ලැබෙන තීරණ තරම් සුදුසු නොවන බවයි. දැන් එහෙම එකක් තියෙනවා.
සමහරට මේ අභියෝග වලට මුහුණ දෙන්න යට අපහසු වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. මොකද
it might be difficult for them to face these challenges since these officials have not been in the political framework and the state mechanism. It must be difficult for them to face these challenges. However, since these officials have resigned for personal reasons, we will protect their right to do so.
එයාගේ පෞද්ගලික කාරණා මත ඉල්ලාස්වලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ හින්දා එයාගේ අයිතිය අපි ආරක්ෂා කරනවා.
The Ministry of Defence issued a media release this morning. In the media release, Defence Secretary Retired General Kamal Gunaratne, referring to the standard security measures adopted at the Bandaranaike International Airport, affirmed that there is no need for the general public to panic due to the information disseminating over fake email of hostile nature received by the airport authorities. Adding further, the Secretary of Defence said that the country's defence and law enforcing agencies are continuing their duties in the same vein without letting anyone to disrupt the lasting peace in the country. In the media release, Defence Secretary says that the two suspects involved in placing a hand grenade in a private hospital in Colombo for an individual benefit was also taken into custody, and further investigations are carried out by the police. In more local news this afternoon, gas queues were seen in several parts of the country today as well. Consumers raise concerns that Lav's gas is not available in many areas and litro gas is running out.
Even during the prevailing quarantine curfew, people are still waiting in line as their hunger cannot be locked down. It has been more than a month since Lav's gas was allowed to increase their prices, but the gas supply has not yet been satisfactorily completed. Newsfirst inquired into the matter from the Lav's gas chairman, WKH Vagapitiya. He said that the situation is such that letters of credit cannot be opened. He says the decision to continue to supply gas to the market is based on dollars.
Action will be taken on complaints that are made against those who threaten or obstruct the duties of teachers conducting online lectures. The police informed the public to file complaints against individuals who make such threats. Minister of Public Security retired Rear Admiral Dr. Sarath Veerasekara has instructed the IGP and the DIG in charge of the CID to take strict action on such complaints.
Trade union representatives of the Teachers Principals Collective convened a media briefing regarding the matter in Colombo today.
Yesterday, a trade union attached to the SLPP and an individual from the Sri Lanka Nidahas Teachers Union lodged a complaint not at the police but with Sarath Veerasekara, stating that there is a threat to teachers who are conducting online classes. It is then that this press release was issued stating that if there are people who pose such threats, complaints should be made to the police. The government first tried to spread false news saying the COVID-19 cluster was formed through the protests that were staged by teachers. Even now, after 2 months, they are trying to find out if the teachers are being threatened. With great responsibility, I say 247,000 teachers and 16,000 principals unite together in this struggle. There is no need to threaten anyone. Everyone is voluntarily involved in this. There are conspiracies of the government. Instead of creating conspiracies, they should just provide a solution to this problem. The Education Ministry provided scholarship from the United Kingdom worth 8 million to individuals involved in academic administration. So we are saying if they have the money for such things, they are using the money they have to do things that are unnecessary. Why can't they use the money to solve this problem? That is our dilemma.
Does the government have sufficient funds to run the country? A journalist inquired the Minister of Highways, Johnston Fernando, regarding this matter.
There is money. If not, how can we pay the salaries of the state employees who are currently at home? How are we paying the overtime payments? It's the previous government that had monetary problems. They were bankrupt, not us. Even today, we are paying the salaries of the state employees on time. If we are unable to do so, that's when we have monetary problems. No money means bankruptcy.
Minister of Power and Energy Gamini Lokuge states that it will be difficult to maintain the Ceylon Electricity Board if they do not receive payments immediately.
We are facing severe difficulties due to the electricity bill payments. We are due to receive at least 47 billion monthly. We didn't receive this last month either. We've halted disconnecting the electricity supply this month as well. If we are to extend the relief period by another month, we will face severe economic difficulties. It will cost us about another 22 billion if so.
Now, a meeting of the Executive Committee of the United People Freedom Front was held recently. The meeting was held via Zoom and chaired by Chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, former President Maithripala Sirisena.
The primary objective of a political party or an alliance is to begin a discourse to secure power. There are financial issues in the country right now. There are issues in the administration of the country, and professionals and experts in the country are not satisfied of the policies of the government, and they are resigning from their positions. I believe that this new situation must be assessed. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna is not a member of the United People's Freedom Alliance. We held discussions with the other constituent parties of the United People's Freedom Alliance, and we will assess the situation in the future and invite more organizations to the alliance in the future.
Shifting our attention away from the political arena now, Newsfirst received reports or information that a mound of earth that collapsed along the Ruwanwella Katunayaka main road in Sapugastanna Urupola 3 months ago has still not been removed from the area.
Only one lane along the road is being used as the earth embankment is blocking the rest of the road. The possibility of accidents when large lorries travel along this narrow road is higher given to the current state of the road. This is dangerous. I personally have faced incidents where my life was at risk here, thrice.
People travel through here a lot during the Sripada season. People travel to Ruwanwella Pasyala Hospital along this road. If something happens to them while travelling along this road, who will be held responsible? Is it the government? Is the minister asleep?
Officers of the Kalutara Divisional Crimes Unit launched an investigation into a murder in Dodangoda. The murder is suspected to have been the result of a family dispute.
Crime Watch.
According to the police, the mother of 4 was killed at a residence in Dodangoda. The spouse of the deceased had surrendered himself to the police following the murder.
Crime Watch.